Welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. I'm the Nerdy and this is episode 12, I believe. Where we left off last time, we had just acquired Karlach and then helped her with taking out the Paladins of Tyr that were located here that had been hunting her. Took quite a bit of effort, but we managed to kill them. We have not yet looted this place or talked to her or anything, but she also gave us a quest to... That's still not the map. To go back to Daemon here in the Emerald Grove, because her heart, her infernal heart, is running in overdrive. And so she needs to get that checked out. So first we're gonna look around this place, do some looting because we didn't even loot the bodies. I guess first let's talk to Karlach, and then deal with all of that.
What's the story?
How'd you end up with such contraption in your chest? So not only do you have this thing in your chest, but it's burning up. How does the Infernal Engine do? What does the Infernal Engine do to you? I think we can go through all of these, so I'll just start at the top. How did you end up with that contraption in your chest?
The year, 10 air. The place, sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. Our hero, Karlach, a knock-kneed delinquent from the outer city with everything to give and nothing to lose. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong crowd. Worked for a guy I respected. A lot. Turns out the feeling wasn't mutual. Through the jigs and the reels, he made a deal with Zariel behind my back. You know Zariel, right? Archdevil of Avernus. She put this thing in my chest and set me to work. Well, to war. I learned quick how to stay alive. And the engine served me when it came to killing devils. 10 years of that. The stories I could tell.
Hopefully we'll get to hear some of them. You mentioned a boss who gave you up to Zariel. Who was it?
Guy named Gortash. Politician. Inventor. One of these wheeler-dealer types who seems to have a finger in every pie. I guess I was naive to think everything he got up to was above board. What did I know? I saw a job. A good job. With people I liked. Doing work I was good at. Sometimes I'm jealous of that girl. Ugh, to feel so invincible again.
Well, you do seem to be fairly invincible. But also, that's a name we should remember, so that if we ever wind up in Baldur's Gate, which based on the name of the game, I'm assuming we're gonna end up there, we should look him up. See what he's up to these days. What does that Infernal Engine do to you?
Gives me energy. Power. But you've seen it in action. Very hard to control. If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, enticed, I burn hot. Hot enough to burn anyone who gets close.
So, strong emotions leads to heat. You must be pent up? What's that been like? I wouldn't mind that myself. I've never been one for too much contact. I mean, as a gold dragon, I am... No, I don't think I'm yet resistant to fire. But I think I will be at a higher level. What's that been like?
Agonizing. God's what I wouldn't give for a hug. A pat. Anything. You've never met anyone so desperate for a hug as this one right here. Pathetic perhaps, but true. It's my lot to bear, and I bear it badly. Ah well, can't have it all, can you? Not today, at least.
You just kicked me out of the conversation. So a hug is too much? That's probably a way to get stories. In your expert opinion, what's the best way to kill a devil? Now those paladins are out of your way, what's next on your agenda?
First things first, I need to get this engine tuned up. Thing's powerful, but it's been feeling volatile ever since I left the Hells. Can't be too hard to find an infernal mechanic around here, right?
Not if you know who to talk to. This isn't where I thought I'd end up. How about you?
Funny you should ask. I was just thinking about what would have become of us without that Nautiloid. I mean, I know where I'd be. Trapped in Avernus still, with the Blade of Frontiers on my tail. But what about you?
I don't know who I was necessarily. Back in my home, not a care in the world. Maybe be in the middle of another adventure, blessedly free of any tadpole. That feels more likely. So much has happened, I can barely remember what life was like before the abduction. It hasn't been that long, it's been a few days. Unless we were on that Nautiloid for a very long time. But no, probably in another adventure. I don't see myself as the guy to just chill at home without a care in the world.
I can picture you getting mixed up in some outrageous shit. Giants, beholders, Thayans, the works. Maybe once we've wrapped up the current shenanigans, we'll rest a bit and find some new heap of trouble to throw ourselves at.
Could be.
Why are we slowing down?
Because you keep kicking me out of conversations. What's the best way to kill a devil?
Depends on the type. Ice devils hate an inferno, but that's an easy one. Orthons love projectiles. What they don't love is getting their bombs lobbed right back in their faces. Demons, on the other hand, every demon is absolutely singular. You can't ever think you've got them typed out. Sharp instincts, sharp weapons, and a knack for improvisation. That's the only way to survive them. Anyway, what were we talking about?
That's it. Alright, let's go looting. We'll start inside. We also did hear that there is a basement here that a tax collector stored gold in. Based on talking to a dead tax collector. Ah, that's gotta be it. So, we've already looted out here. Yes. I'm pretty sure I grabbed that alcohol for my camp supplies, but I will grab it again. Alright, what do we have down here? Ooh, and a note. Household prayers. Give that a read. Lathander to light, Selune to guide, Kalimvor to judge, and passage provide. Meh. Simple. Pitcher of beer. Good thing you didn't burn that up. Traveler's Guide to the Sword Coast, Volume 4, The Risen Road. The stained, well-thumbed pages filled with traveling advice that seems to be decades out of date. Those who seek to journey to the coast from the interior regions lying to the east will typically seek out the Risen Road. Running parallel to the river Chianthar, the Risen Road provides an overland route all the way from Elturel to Baldur's Gate, and has proven tempting to travelers seeking an alternate to the river barges that sail the Chianthar. A portion of the road approximately halfway between Elturel and Baldur's Gate has in recent years developed an enclave for Selune worship, with a temple of not insignificant splendor lying near the road. Indeed, an entire village, Moonhaven, has developed alongside the temple and can provide food and shelter to weary travelers. Further east lies the citadel of Moonrise Towers, where a toll is required for onward passage of goods and folks alike. Some are tempted to go off-road in order to avoid the toll. However, bandits and other dangers may cause them to pay a much steeper price. So, Moonhaven is the town nearby that we skipped, but we saw the signpost for it. It didn't look like the town was in good shape. And the Temple of Selune is probably the temple that the goblins are all holed up in. So, yeah, that's what we're talking about here, is this middle point between Elturel and Baldur's Gate, where the temple and Moonhaven are. And I think Moonrise Towers was where the Harper map we found referenced a cache of loot. I guess I will pick that up. We can sell it. Nothing in the bag. Grab the 2 gold coins, 3 gold coins even. Oh, can you stand in one place and just pick it up? Thank you. I don't need either of those. Or random rags. Another book. Findings of the Hinterlands, new edition. Esteemed reader, while this journal is no stranger to surprising news, from the outermost reaches of our fair land, I must warn of this season's editions contains news some might find, in a word, shocking. It might be that the cult of the Absolute, reported by our agents in Eltegard, will fade like any other, but reports of alliance between Goblin and Loathsworn Drow, Troll and Dwergar are a particular cause for alarm. The seriousness of the enclosed report is quite unique in our history. Prior to publication, messengers were sent to localities inside Baldur, including Baldur's Gate, Scornubel, and Candlekeep. Let us hope these reports are received with the proper gravity for the safety of all. Sincerely, Mingus Etcherly, Editor-in-Chief. So the Cult of the Absolute, which we know the goblins that were attacking worshipped, as well as those couple of people we talked to. But apparently, it goes even so far as Drow, Trolls, and Dwergar. So, yeah, and that seems to be tied to people that have the tadpoles, but oddly not us. But I guess that's been around for a while, depending on how new this new edition is. Before we go downstairs, let's head upstairs. Where are the stairs? Huh. Okay then. Can we jump? No? Seriously, how does someone get up here? You can't have a floor with loot and no way up. That would be just madness. Alright. Oh, I don't have laser.
Damn, it's good to be alive.
Can you
Well, that's it.
jump up here? Yes. You'll have to do my looting for me then, it seems. Oh no, there's a back door here that probably, I think, had a ladder. No? Really nothing. Huh. Whatever, it's fine. A halberd, nice.
Yo!
Yes? Lords of Madness, Volume 4, Yinogu. Of all the demon lords, few have made their mark on the world as firmly as Yinogu. Though his ravenous hunger is claimed to be a mindless compulsion, there's nothing mindless about the thorough insinuation of his presence in the world via his chosen, gnolls. But how are gnolls created? First, a chosen of Yinogu must do as their master wills, kill a hyena that then feasts on the corpse of the chosen's victim, and a gnoll is born out of the glutted belly of the hyena. Gnolls thus born are hunger manifest. They ravage any living being, tearing body and bone asunder, leaving behind only bones. They care not for wealth or material gain, only to satiate their hunger. That satiation is itself an offering to Yinogu, funneled directly to him. Some might envy the gnolls for such a tangible connection to their creator god, but that envy would melt to utter terror as soon as the beast's rotting breath and wicked cackles make their way through the dark of night. If you should find yourself the object of gnollish pursuit, burn your corpses, cover your scent, and pray to whoever might aid you, for there is no bribing, begging, or reasoning with hunger incarnate. That apparently is the story of gnolls. Yikes.
Let me at it.
Which we've heard gnolls are in the area from talking to, was it the corpses who mentioned being killed by a gnoll? A pleasurable deal. How did you get up here, Shadowheart? Did you jump? This is an excerpt from the play A Pleasurable Deal, banned in no fewer than 4 cities for its lewd content. Its scandalous nature led to a number of widely distributed and illicit printings. Narrator: Come here, fair folk, a tale now lost to time. In grief this man well sunk to depths sublime. A gift he sought to win his lady's heart. Our Cambion smiled, for now the game did start. Enter Robert, male tiefling, crying. Carlisle? Stage right, flash of smoke. Carlisle: Weep not, young man, for free your wife has fled, and comfort found in comrade's arms and bed. She licks her lips and cries his name, oh my, and now seek you to be the apple of her eye. Robert: How does the stranger know such things, I ask? Carlisle: I watch you from the shadows and I see your shame and grief for nature's malady. I can read. You seek to win your lady and her bed, to have your name upon her lips instead. Robert, you know my curse, my pain, my grief, my woe. Carlyle, of you I know you seek a larger hoe, to plow fair maid, and sow a seed to grow. But lack do ye a mighty horn and mast, with which to guide a maid to bed and fast. Okay. That is a book. So that's everything upstairs. Well, it wouldn't surprise me if there... Does it look like the roof could be stood on? I guess I can't see. There we go. I'm wondering if there is actually something else upstairs that could be checked out. Shadowheart, can you not get down? You jumped up there without my permission, and now you're stuck.
I've got a long road ahead.
Okay. Yeah, we can't look up there because we're too far down at this point. There probably wasn't anything. We've already looted all those bodies. So let's... Speaking of gnolls... I can take all of their ears as alchemical ingredients. Hyena ears, not gnoll ears, shockingly. The gnolls have a bunch of hyena ears. Is that spear not lootable? Oddly. Don't really need all the torches, but whatever. Ooh, food that wasn't eaten by the gnolls. A severed leg. I'm wondering if that counts as food. No. I was curious. You know, games being games. You can never be sure. More food that the gnolls left behind. I guess they're not vegetarians. Another severed leg and a severed head. And a severed arm. Almost have a whole severed person here.
Something over there. I'm way too big.
Huh. Burrow hole that would go somewhere. Doesn't help us. Maybe a halfling could get through it, or maybe if you had some sort of familiar, they could go through it. Let's check out the basement now.
I'll never get used to the stench of death.
It was a great scrap. A hungry minotaur with a hankering for human flesh. An axe-bearing mountain of fur she was. Gave me a nasty scar.
I hope you don't mind if I don't ask to see it.
I played a Minotaur in a recent campaign for D&D. Because Minotaurs are big and have lots of strength. There is lots of good stuff here. Obviously I'm encumbered. Not a huge surprise. What we can do, which I haven't been thinking about, is our camp supply sack. All of this is food that I don't ever need on my person. It's only needed at camp. So I can just send it to camp. Ta-da, I'm not encumbered anymore. So that's a tip for you if you're playing this, is send all of your food to camp. Old floppy hat. I rarely like the looks of hats in games. So I basically never use them. If it gives some sort of mechanical bonus, I might put it on for that, but hopefully the game has an option to turn it off. Although I don't mind, like, Shadowheart's circlet that she came with. Drow poison. Why do you have drow poison here? Potion of glorious vaunting, triples your jump, and a simple toxin. We haven't found a ton of gold here, if I'm being perfectly honest. More glorious vaulting and basic poison. Another dead toll collector. More food. 2 gold. And the toll house ledger. A ledger containing details of a toll house's takings for the current year, 1492 DR. Most entries are nearly written, listing the travelers and the amount of gold paid, but the text on the most recent page is smudged and rambling. 9 Marpenoth. I do not know the months of Faerun, so I don't know how that corresponds to our calendar. 4 merchants with a single wagon of sundries, 25 gold. 12 Marpenoth. Flaming Fist Company, 15 fists and gauntlet. 100 gold fee waived. Fists don't pay tolls, they extort. 21 Marpenoth. Brewer and 2 guards, bringing kegs to Walkeen's Rest, 35 gold. 2 Uktar, 7 farmers, no goods, no gold, wounded, warned us to leave. 3 Uktar, sent couriers to request extra guards of relief. Guards or relief. 7 Uktar, more farmers, too many to count, no goods, carrying their own dead. 11 Uktar, road untenable. 16 Uktar, preparing to abandon post. Yeah, that's a lot of bad news showing up. Hinting of bad things to come. Ah, that's where the key got used. We just failed a whole bunch of perceptions, but those look like traps to me. Let's toss down a save.
Come on, let's go.
Karlak, are you gonna be able to perceive? Yes.
Hot foot. Place is trapped.
What triggers the trap? Like, we use the key, so does that mean we're safe?
Hot foot. Place is trapped.
Well, yeah, I know.
La la la. This'll be fun.
I mean, so far nothing's going off. You send the barbarian up first, just in case the traps do go off. That's my method. I was hoping Varric would open this, but Karlak stayed triggered, even though I tried to activate Varric. Broken padded armor, I don't care for that. Broken club. We have non-broken gear. I don't think there's actually crafting in this game, but it does give me things that look like crafting materials, and so I'm not as confident as I once was. This isn't actually food, is it? No. Unless that examine doesn't show that they're food. Ooh. Those are valuables. Don't need random clothing. Fire amber. Warg fang. This is a good haul that we've got here. Don't need rotten food. Breezy sandals. 245 gold. I mean, maybe I shouldn't be looting the toll house, but the toll workers are dead, so I guess it's first come, first serve. That's how that works, right? I'm sure there is a legal answer for who owns the tolls if the toll workers die. And it's not whoever finds it first. Don't need random bottles. If there were bottles of stuff, then maybe. Yeah, see? Ingots. I would normally think those are crafting materials. Guess that's... Oh, we haven't looted the center area. Let's head back.
Hot foot. Place is trapped.
More rotten cheese. Potion of animal speaking. Perfect. Gladly take more of those. What's that? A light hammer? Sure. I don't know if that's a weapon. Or if that's like you know, crafting hammer. No, that's a weapon. 0 to 3. That's not a great weapon. 1d4 minus 1. Alright, let's go to our inventory. That's easier to see things. Sort by weight. I'm going to send the armor for our companions to camp, because I don't want to lose their starting armor. Feels sentimental somehow. The rest of this, just heavy stuff. Not that. But the various weapons and armor. Let's give it to Karlak. Still no traps going off. Super don't trust these traps.
This'll be fun.
For very obvious reasons. Nope, that's... Oops, just grab some rotten cheese. I don't know if I want to search every vase. Seem to not have anything in most of them. Nope. Click on the vase. Yeah, nothing in any of those vases. More rotten food. Don't need the jugs of water. Glorious vaunting. Mind reading. Don't need the quill. The leadership of the Zentrum. An excerpt from the ongoing metatext, Rebound by Iosepha Elgin, a scholar excommunicated from the Church of Denair for her heretical efforts to reconstruct the metatext, her god's annal of lost and hidden knowledge. Despite the protestation to the contrary, it takes no keen eye to see echoes of the Bainite philosophy in modern Zentrum practice, a strict militaristic hierarchy where all power flows from the top. Who occupies that position today is the matter of some speculation, for the Black Network's leadership was thought destroyed along with their headquarters at Zentil Keep in 1383 DR. The following decades, however, a new base of power began to consolidate at the fortress of Darkhold, far to the south. At its center stands Paragost, an enigmatic armored figure to whom the Zentrum's rebirth is almost single-handedly attributed. Whoever their leader, it is clear that this new Zentrum have not abandoned plans for domination so much as recalculated their approach. Where once their focus was on the subversion and conquest of nations, the network of today is much more concerned with establishing their stranglehold on the market, a power which crosses borders that are closed to more conventional forces. I think we read another book about the Zentrum. They're sounding familiar. Lots of beers and liquors. Craft of wine. Empty potion bottle, don't need that. Big throne. Unsure why that's here. Rags. Large bottles. Okay, I think... No, we didn't do the center yet.
Never wanted the easy path.
Alright, almost there. There we go. Believe that is this whole place looted. Now let's talk to this fellow. I guess talking to him would have been smart in case he told me anything about those traps, in case they would have went off.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Who are you? How did you die? Why were you in the basement? Were you alone when you died? Yes. Were you alone when you died?
Gods abandoned me and friends.
Why are you in the basement?
Hiding. Frightened.
How did you die?
Goblins. Laughing. Cutting.
So not the Knowles. He was killed by goblins.
Toll collector. Martin.
I have one more question, but I'm not going to use it. And luckily it doesn't actually work like the D&D movie where he's just left alive and waiting for his last question.
So, Will with a Y. Why?
Why? That's right.
But why?
Why? A great uncle's name, my father said. But I just figured he couldn't spell.
Not as unusual as a lot of names you see these days.
Bodies everywhere. Accident or sabotage?
I'm thinking sabotage. We've seen a lot of Knowles. Doesn't seem like an accident. I mean, this might be. Arrow of fire. Don't see anything useful over here, even if we could jump there, but it doesn't look like we can. Oh, there we go. We do have a teleport spot here. I was hoping for that, because the plan was to teleport from here back to here to talk to Damon. Unfortunately, the closest teleport to the Emerald Grove is here. Right? No, there was a teleporter in the Emerald Grove in that like hidden pathway we found. Can we not teleport to that because it's not on the overworld? Seems a little silly. Thought there was a teleporter in there. Maybe I'm misremembering. Either way, it'll be a bit of a hike to get from here to him, but it's fine. Let's just rush in here. I should rest. We'll do a short rest first.
That'll have to do.
That way we're not dying health-wise. But we're all pretty low on spells, I think. Ooh, and we have a merchant here. A couple of merchants. This guy and then Damon himself is a merchant. So we can sell some of our gear. We've got stockpiling up a bit. Aaron, I've got a whole bunch of stuff I don't need. Do you have gold?
Need anything else?
I do. I'd like to see your wares.
But please, remember, you're not the only one in need.
I would never take all of your good stuff and all of your money. Let's see. If we sort by weight... Well, this is already our most weighty stuff. I'm gonna hold on to the ingots, because even though I don't think there's crafting in this game, I'm not confident enough in that to get rid of the ingots that might be needed. If someone knows whether there's crafting or not and can just let me know, then like whether there's value in me holding on to the ingots. Oh, I definitely don't need the moldy cheese I accidentally picked up. You've still got 200 gold left. Can I sort by weight? There we go. What else do we have that I would want to get rid of? The various consumables I want to keep. just in case. Don't really need the books. Certainly don't need your ledger. Traveler's Guide. But like the Harper's Notebook and the Harper map I want to keep. Information about Saluna and Shar seems like it'll be useful later. So things like that I want to hold on to. Sell the incense. I don't need any of that. And then is it just jewelry? Guess so. I think that's basically everything I care to sell off at the moment. Yeah. No, we'll keep the antidote. Yeah, so you're allowed to keep 54 gold. Thanks, Aaron.
Sylvanus be with you.
And you. So Damon was down here. I don't think we have any new people around.
I think I'd make a fine teacher. Or a baker.
Thought I sensed an infernal around here. But you aren't from Elturel. What's your story?
I spent a good bit of time in the Hells. Enlisted against my will by the Archdevil Zariel. Same as you, I suppose, if you're from Elturel. The devils were delighted when your city was swallowed up. I thought they had you for keeps. Glad you got out.
I got lucky. It looks like you did too. And you brought some infernal machinery with you.
A little gift from Zariel. Keeps me burning hot.
Very hot by the smell of it. Might be burning out a piston ring or leaking oil. Mind if I take a listen?
Be my guest. But don't get too close or your eyes will melt shut.
Phew! You really are burning up. Whoever put that engine together tried to house metallurgized Demono valves inside a Ragnak's alloy casement. Very risky. I might be able to help, but I'd need infernal iron. And a prayer that my hammer will survive the work. That thing isn't meant to operate outside of Ernest. I'm not sure how much longer it'll keep running the way it's going.
Will you be able to turn down the temperature a little? Worried I'm gonna go in for a handshake and singe someone's arm off one of these days.
I'd worry about surviving the night first. But help one, help both. If we can cool you off, it'll stabilize your engine and allow you to touch whomever you please.
Where should we look for infernal iron?
I've sensed some during our travels. It has a pull to it. Absolutely magnetic, once you know what you're looking for. I can show you where I'd look.
Sure. It's better than we have. We'll keep our eyes open for some iron. Personally, I'd like to know what infernal iron is worth. No. I'm not just gonna find the iron and then sell it to him. I feel like Karlach burn up. We see your wares. No. We'll keep our eyes open for some iron.
Meanwhile, I've still got plenty of weapons and armor in stock if you're looking to load up.
I'm good at the moment. I didn't need to go to your shop, but that's fine. How much gold are we kicking around? 1,900. Nearly 2,000. That is a sizable amount. I don't think you have anything I particularly need. Yeah. Advantage against monstrosity type enemies? No. I think mostly we're good at the moment. Because I don't use weapons. Shadowheart has a magical weapon. I haven't decided if Karlach's going to stay in my party, but if she is, I'll probably take the sword off of Lae'zel and give it to her. Mace +1. +1 weapons are nice. But no, I don't think I needed any of your gear.
Forged from the heart.
Damn druids. Who uses wooden tools?
Druids don't like metal. Okay, so he's sensing infernal iron here in Moonhaven. Right? Yeah, Moonhaven. So that's a good reason to head back that way. We can probably come down through here as a way of getting over there rather than just retreading area we've traveled. And that also gets us closer to the druid and the goblin camp, who we believe are in the Selûne Temple right next to Moonhaven. So that's probably the direction we're gonna head. I'm probably gonna wait on Auntie Ethel for a while. Certainly deal with this first. Maybe go check out the Githyanki first. Did I? Okay, I was wondering if I didn't explore back here, but yeah, that is cut off. Okay. So let's head back to the Risen Road. Do I feel like I need to rest? Let's look at where everyone's at.
Whatever it takes.
You got 2 level 2 spells left. You've got all your spells because we just took a short rest. And you have 2 rages left.
My dagger.
And these things have stayed interesting.
So we don't need to take a nap yet, but soon. Let's head back to the Risen Road.
Breathe deep and move.
Keep exploring. I guess the question then is, do we want to cross the bridge or explore down this area under the bridge? For now we can explore under the bridge, I suppose. The game just auto-saved. That is always a worrying prospect. Why? I feel like there's going to be a perception check soon. Okay, we are blocked off. We could possibly jump over this. But I think the simpler way would be to blow up that wall. So let's have everyone back off. So I don't know how big that explosion is going to get. Shadowheart. You would like to lob a fireball over there. Perfect.
Still alive. So that's
Oh,
progress.
I forgot it's still the same day where I'm still bloodless. And we don't even have Astarion with us at the moment. When I get to camp,
Another step forward.
I think I'll get Astarion back rather than Will. What? I'm seeing giant boulder. I'm worried there's some sort of rock trap. Okay, that noise is just us passing through there. Oh, yep, called it. Run, 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 run. Okay, everyone else is okay. I'm dead. If you could aid me. Oh. No, if... Can you aid us? Yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting. I don't see any other rock traps, but I am hearing growling and cackling up here. Probably gnolls. Am I wanting to head over here and deal with probably gnolls? Or would I rather head down here and deal with this city and save that for later? I don't know. Certainly don't want to deal with it with us all basically dead.
Can't give up now. Have to keep
So,
going.
we definitely need to rest. I guess, no. Let's stay here in this cave. We're going to explore this, which I think we are. Then we don't need to jump out of the cave. Let's rest for the night. So first, Astarion, I want you back in my party.
Yes.
Travel with me.
Perhaps if you lost a follower or two, I prefer to travel in smaller groups. It's more intimate.
Take Will's place.
Excellent. Now that that's settled, lead on.
I shall. We'll keep Karlak in the party for now. So we can go to Lae'zel. You can have a longsword back. And then that weapon will go to Karlak. In your inventory. So I think this is going to be better than your great axe. 4 to 15 versus 6 to 19. Yeah. There you go.
Let's get going.
All right. Anyone else have anything to say?
Catch a break.
Isn't it glorious? Karlak's fury is a wonder to behold.
It was nice when she didn't lose control. Will.
Karlak's all fire and fury. I'd pray to the Triad it doesn't consume her.
That's the plan.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Nothing to say. All right. We already talked to Astarion. Karlak. And then we'll do our rounds again at night.
Hey, soldier.
Hey. Sounds like all we need to fix your engine is to find some infernal iron.
Let's hope Damon is as good as he seems. Once my engine's handled, I can focus on more important matters. Tadpoles, cults, frosty pints.
Damon, not Damon. Got it. Also, one thing that occurs to me in our search for infernal iron, these coins were made from infernal iron, weren't they? We examine it. Thought that's what it said when I... Maybe it was when I did a knowledge check about it or something, or asked someone about them. Pretty sure soul coins are made from internal iron, which probably not the best to, you know, grind up someone's soul to use it to fix her heart.
Karlak's temper is a sight to behold. She'll need to be careful. That rage will burn her right out.
Yeah, but if we were desperate enough for infernal iron, that's an option. Yes, let's long rest. Oh, hello.
Hellfire. She's coming.
Will, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
Gods damn it. Anyone but her.
Just who in the nine hells are you? Well, aren't you a luscious thing? Goddamn devil, get out of my camp. Who in the nine hells are you?
Will, you absolute stinker. You kept me a secret? Time to let the Hellcat out of the bag. Call me Mizora. I'm Will's patron, the fount of his power. My pet's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, will. But Karlak's still breathing.
I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora. And at least those can be buried after.
That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlak, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark. Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless. Karlak meets the criteria by virtue of having no heart.
Wow. See, this is why you don't make deals with devils. They tear out her heart, replace it with a machine, and then say, oh, she's heartless now, you can hunt her. So I was somewhat expecting that Will's patron would be this Zariel. Which that would be a fun mix. But no, it's someone else. But it seems like Mizora is still connected to Zariel in some way, or at least has some connection to Karlak. Not sure how that connection all exists. But certainly they're all aware of each other. Yeah. Also, I really like the idea of a patron for a warlock being this involved, just showing up, having conversations, etc. It's hard to have that happen in D&D campaigns I've seen, like rarely happens, but your patron should be a lot more involved in my mind than, say, a cleric's god. So, feels good to have her just show up and start pointing out that, hey, Will, you're not doing what I want, because patrons don't care what their warlocks want, they care what they want, and you signed the pact. Get to the point, devil. What do you want? If we kill Karlak now, will that get rid of you? We're not doing that. You better not lay a damn finger on Karlak. Blast it all, Will. Why didn't you tell me about her? I've heard enough. You're not leaving this place alive. I like 1 and 4. Asking Will why we haven't heard about this, because potentially if we knew more, we could have maybe prepared or planned or done something about it. Probably not. Or just asking her what she wants. Yeah, Will, why didn't you tell us about her?
He's the blade of frontiers. Devil's plaything just doesn't have the same ring. Speaking of...
Will burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms. Get used to the new form, pet. There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo. Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade. Karlak, keep an eye on him, would you?
Huh.
I'll be keeping mine on you. Oh, and Will, don't forget, our pact still stands. Ta-ta.
Yeah, that's about what I expect of the patron of a pact. But the fact that Will maybe didn't know exactly how that would play out, but he knew he would have to pay a consequence. And he still left Karlak alive, knowing he'd have to pay some sort of major consequence because it was the right thing to do. That says a lot about him as a person. But I guess let's now go around and talk to everyone again.
I'll be honest, soldier. I'm reeling. Will hardly knows me, but he chose my life over his.
That's what I'm saying.
Been a long time since someone stuck their neck out for me like that.
He's a good man, maybe the best of us. You must be relieved. A foolish decision, and now have to pay the consequences. He's a good man.
You can say that again. When he was chasing me through Avernus, I thought he was just another sad merc. How wrong I was.
Starion, what do you got to say?
There you are. I was just thinking about you. And that delicious moment we shared the other night.
So not about Will's transformation. The moment when you bit me, savor the memory, it won't happen again. The moment when you bit me.
The very same. I've had this condition for 2 centuries, but truth be told, you were my first. In all these years, I've only ever fed on beasts. Drinking the blood of thinking creatures is a different thing entirely. You were delectable. And now I can't help but wonder how the others taste.
They might not be as open to the idea as I was. Hurt them and I'll kill you, no hesitation. You're looking at their necks, I'm hurt. A lot of these are great. But yeah, you're welcome to try, but they may not be as open to it as I was.
Alas. It doesn't hurt to ponder the question, though. Take Gale, for example. He strikes me as someone whose blood is rich, refined, like well-aged brandy. But the Gith? What in the hells would she taste like?
Something exotic, surely? An Amnon liquor? I'd prefer beer if it's all the same to you. No, we'll play along. Something exotic.
Oh. Well, that sounds very appealing. I'm almost convinced.
Still theoretical, right? Keep your eyes to yourself, you'll make people nervous. Could I convince you to kill someone less useful? He's not talking about killing. He didn't kill us. Still theoretical, right?
Absolutely. A mere thought experiment.
No harm in that.
So, in the spirit of theoretical questions, if you had to take a bite from one of them, who would it be?
Are you really asking which of our companions I'd eat? So is he saying which one do I think seems the tastiest? Or which one I'm most interested in? Or which one I think we wouldn't miss the most? I don't think it's that. I think it's which one I'm interested in, therefore think would be the tastiest. But yeah, so you're really asking which of our companions I'd eat. Gale, no question. I could be tempted to try Lae'zel. If I had to, Shadowheart. Probably Will. I'd risk Karlach. I mean, currently, my interest of the romance options is Shadowheart and Karlach. There is zero chance Shadowheart would accept someone biting her. She is far too closed off. Not a bad thing, but that's who she is. Karlach would probably allow it, but she'd give a warning first. So I'd go with Karlach.
A brave choice. Although, the more I think on it, the hungrier I get. I better go find something I can actually get my teeth into.
I am surprised, though, that he's never been willing to bite a sentient. And the first time he finally got desperate enough, rather than just going out and finding a bandit or whatever, he went after a companion, like in camp. That seems really weird for that to be his first choice. Well, good hunting.
There's nothing that tasty lurking out in the woods, but I'll make do. Sweet dreams.
Huh. It will. How are you holding up?
God's damn her straight back to the hells.
Well,
just look at me. I did what was right, and Mazora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings.
Warlock pacts tend to be unforgiving from what you know of them. Will was lucky he didn't face a more severe punishment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But also, he made a pact with the devil. Like, what do you expect? You warned me about Raphael, but are pacted to Mizora? What a fraud. That's also what I said at the time when he warned us, because he had a pact to a devil. Blade of Frontier has some explaining to do. What do you expect? She's a devil, hardly the paragon of honesty. You've been turned into a devil, an appropriate punishment, I'd say. That's harsh. You're lucky she didn't take your soul when she came. True, but probably not what he wants to hear at the moment. I'm gonna ask the first one, but I wish I could go through all three of these top ones. And then maybe swing by number 5 afterwards. I'm definitely not gonna say number 4. You warned me about Raphael, but are pacted to Mizora. I don't want the what a fraud. That is harsher than I intend. What did you expect? She's a devil, hardly the paragon of honesty.
All these years. You'd think it's a lesson I'd have well learned. It's Mizora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds. But I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast.
What are the terms of the pact?
I can't utter the terms or circumstances of the pact. I can tell you most all else, but the pact, I'm forbidden, unless Mizora permits it. But I'll say this. The moment I pacted myself to Mizora, I have not regretted for a heartbeat. It was my proudest deed. It was worth the sacrifice. All I can give you on that is my solemn word.
Is it still worth the sacrifice?
Well met.
You should get out of this pact.
A possibility that's kept me awake countless nights.
So he has considered it.
I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to.
Why obey her at all? What could she do that's worse than she already has? She could do a lot worse. Can't we just attack her the next time she pops up? No. Anyone that's strong enough to have warlocks is not someone that they can fight. Also, it's interesting. So we found Warlock, he's level 1. Same as the rest of us, we're all level 1. But he's got a story claiming he was significantly more powerful, and it's the Mind Flayer parasite that's knocked him down to our level. There must be some loophole in the contract that lets you out. That's the only way to really win. Their contracts have, are intentionally designed with loopholes for the devil to use, such as this one where she can force him to hunt heartless infernals. Therefore, a tiefling without a heart shows up in that ability of the contract. There's loopholes everywhere, and if he can find one that he can abuse instead, that's to his benefit. But only he can do that because only he knows the contract. If he could tell us, then we could help him look for a loophole. But he can't.
It could well be. She has the blighted thing. What I know of it is simply what has engraved itself upon my memory. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mizora no harm. She'll have to let me out of my pact willingly. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads.
So, like Astarion, you're recognizing the worm is not a problem we need to get rid of immediately, but as a tool you can use to benefit yourself for now. We can beat her if we put our worms together. I just fear what she'll do next. We'll see if it's worth it. We might need the pact after all. Yeah, I think so long as the worms aren't controlling us, which they don't seem to be, and they don't seem to be changing us, then we can hope that the worms will help us. We don't yet know what all the worms are capable of. All we've seen is the ability to talk to each other. But that opening scene when we fell from the nautiloid, presumably it was the worm that caught us and stopped us from dying. So they have some significant power. We just don't know how to tap into that. At least that's what I'm reading out of this. So, yeah, if we use the worms, maybe we can beat her.
We can. I'm sure of it. How glad I am that you see me as more than my patron's pet. Well met.
There's always more dialogue options, and it always feels weird when they kick me out, and it's like, but I want to keep talking. How does it feel to be a devil?
It's said that anyone who bathes in the river of blood emerges as one born anew. It's a lot like that, I imagine. I feel the weight of these horns on my head, curling upwards like a mammoth's tusks. I feel these ridges snaking down my neck. Not to mention a few bumps and prongs in unmentionable places. But I haven't seen my reflection just yet. Be my mirror. What do you see?
Quite the handsome devil, if I say so. Good play on words. Freak of nature, gods, but you're hideous. See the Blade of Frontiers, no more, no less. You'd probably like that one. A fiend who's been touched by the hells. I don't know what else to make of it. The Blade of Frontiers. You are still the Blade of Frontiers, even though you've been changed.
It's because you know the heart lurking under the horns. The people will see a curiosity, maybe even a beast hungry for their souls. But I will slay their monsters, keep them safe, and one day they will see the Blade of Frontiers again.
Good on you. Well, good luck. Did Shadowheart have anything to say from... No. So we'll get back to her later, but while we're here, let's talk to Gale.
I can't help feeling Will got off lightly. The wrath of the hells is second only to the wrath of the heavens. Having a devil in our camp will certainly make things interesting. Never a dull day, is there?
Huh. True fact. So they can still have dialogue options even when they don't have the exclamation point over their head. Lae'zel, I don't think we talked to you yet.
The Blade of Frontiers in the guise of a devil. I'd remark on the irony, but I'd hate to waste the breath. Still, it took guts to defy that petty patron of his. The Blade's sting is real.
And lastly, Shadowheart.
Something the matter?
Still think you're keeping something from me. We'll talk about all that's happened. Can we talk about this yet, or is it the same day?
You've already pestered me with your
Sorry.
notions once today. If I have something to add, I'll tell you.
I'll sleep and then ask you in the morning. Alright. Let's get our full rest. That'll get our health and spells back. Any other events in the night? Or is that our event for the night? Looks like that was it. Hey, Scratch. I don't want to drink my potion of animal speaking. Why couldn't you have showed up while I still had it running? Everyone approves of petting the dog. Of course they do. Well, one of these days, I'm sure I'll have to talk to an animal again, and I'll have potion of animal speaking, and then I'll talk to you. Don't really want to justify it right now. Alright. Please, Shadowheart, what are you hiding from me?
Almost pleasant traveling with company. If you ignore all the less pleasant aspects.
still think you're keeping something from me.
This again. You're persistent, I'll give you that.
Of course. Persuasion. We can't afford to keep secrets from each other. What are you hiding? I still don't like intimidation. So... Oh, I definitely should have... Again, I should have had her cast guidance on me. I'm not going to use advantage from friends. So... We just need a 10 or better. 55% chance. That is not a 10 or better. Could roll again. Basically 50-50. Why not? Come on. No. Why? Alright, you can keep your secrets for another day.
Like I told you before, you'll know if I have anything to tell you.
Fine, I won't push for now.
Fine. What's on your mind?
How am I holding up?
I don't think I've ever had a confidant quite like you. And if I have, I can't remember them.
That's an even more positive answer. Alright. Well, thanks for talking. How are we doing with everyone? If we go to our character sheets, we're actually not that high up in approval with anyone. Obviously, Karlach's still down because we haven't had her in the party very long. They're only about 50%. Okay, let's break camp. Are you okay, Karlach?
That's so funny. You haven't got some laughing curse, have you?
I really made it out of Avernus. It's incredible.
All right, just keep it down. We're conspicuous enough without your hyena call.
Speaking of hyenas, I think we do have gnolls up there from what it was sounding like. But we're going to end the episode here. We've been running for a bit over an hour. So we'll stop here. And next time, we will head through this cave to see where it leads, deal with the gnolls that I suspect are on the other end, and hopefully start swooping down here to eventually get to this infernal iron. So that's the general plan. See you then.